Good morning, everyone. Today, we're diving into some big questions that hit close to home. Why does our money seem to buy less than it used to? Why do some stock markets keep climbing? And what's going on with the US dollar compared to other currencies? It's all about inflation, global money printing, and how these forces shape our investments and daily lives.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that. Prices for everything seem to be going up, but then I hear about the stock market doing great. It's confusing. How does it all connect?
Excellent question. Let's start with inflation. Most simply, it's when the purchasing power of your money goes down. Think of it this way. A dollar today buys less than it did last year. It's not just that things are getting more expensive, it's that your dollar is becoming less valuable.
So why does that happen? Is it because countries just print more money?
That's certainly one big piece of the puzzle. When central banks print money, though it's usually done digitally these days, like adding numbers to bank accounts, they increase the money supply. They often do this to stimulate the economy, especially during tough times. But if there's too much money chasing the same amount of goods, prices go up, leading to inflation.
So more money equals less value. Got it. But then if money's losing value, why does something like the S&P 500 seem to keep going up? Isn't that weird?
It's a great observation, and it leads us back to an idea we explored in a previous discussion. In a way, buying stocks is like casting a vote for capitalism. When people invest in companies, they're pouring capital into them. This capital helps these companies grow, innovate, and expand. The S&P 500 is made up of the biggest, most innovative US companies. People are constantly voting for these companies with their money because they expect them to keep growing and making profits.
So if I buy a stock, I'm literally putting my money behind that company, giving it more power and saying, yes, I believe in you and this system. And if enough people do that for these big companies, the S&P 500 climbs.
Precisely. And companies in the S&P 500 are often leaders in innovation. They can also sometimes pass on rising costs to consumers, which helps their revenues keep growing in dollar terms, contributing to higher stock prices even during inflationary periods.
That makes sense. But how does the US dollar itself compare to other currencies? Like, why does its value seem to change all the time?
That's where currency exchange rates come in. A currency's strength against others depends on several factors. For example, if a country has higher interest rates, it attracts foreign investors, increasing demand for its currency. A strong and stable economy also makes a currency more attractive. The US dollar often holds a dominant position because it's considered a safe haven currency during global uncertainty, and it's widely used in international trade.
So if a country prints a lot of money, that could make its currency weaker, right? Because there's more of it floating around?
Exactly. It's a delicate balancing act. While increasing the money supply can stimulate the economy, if done excessively, it can indeed lead to both inflation at home and devalue the currency on the global stage. That's why central banks try to manage it carefully. The balance of how much new currency each country prints directly influences the value of its currency compared to others.
Wow, so it's all connected. Money printing affects inflation, inflation affects what my dollar buys, and it all plays into why markets like the S&P 500 behave the way they do, and how strong the US dollar is globally. It's like a big global economic dance.
It truly is. And understanding these connections helps us make sense of the news, understand our own finances better, and see the bigger picture of how the world's money system operates. It's not just for economists, it's for everyone.